Well, we start by touching the wall. We lift our leg and we move our hands away. This one exercise could just save your life. Let's face it, the number one fear for people over the age of 70 is the fear of falling. And why is that? Well, 1 in 4 Americans report at least one fall every year. Falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among the elderly. In fact, they account for more than 95% of hip fractures and contribute significantly to overall mortality. So what could cause falls? Well, there are numerous reasons for that. It could be a sedentary lifestyle, poor conditioning, poor balance, injury, illness, the list goes on. So for that reason, I'm going to show you one exercise that you can practice in the comfort of your home to help prevent you from having a fall. Before we start, it's always a good idea to speak to your healthcare professional to make sure that you are good to go. Once he's given the all clear, you're ready to take on this one potentially life-saving exercise. And this is how it's going to work. Now, just because an exercise is simple, it doesn't make it easy, but that's the beauty in the exercise, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it and the results would not be as drastic as what an exercise is that is a little bit more challenging. But I'm going to break it down into 3 phases: a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And it's very important to get to the advanced stage. So let's kick it off with the most easiest of the simple exercises, and that is to find yourself a wall. This is called the single leg hip hinge, assisted with a wall or modified. What we're going to be doing is find a wall, and we're going to place our hands on the wall like this, either your hands or your fingertips. I'll use my fingertips for now. And then we're going to shift our weight onto one leg, and then we're going to maintain that balanced position. And as we hold that, I'm going to lean forward, shifting from my hips, tilting until my hands are flat against the wall, my elbows bent, and then I'm going to come back up again, and I'm going to repeat. Breathing in and out. And we're going to go. I'm going to keep my hands in contact with the wall to ensure that my balance maintains the same position. And we're going to go for 10, 7, 8, and 2 more. 9, and last one. I can feel my hips working. As you notice, I'm actually tilting out of my hip, and I'm not using my lower back to bend and relax. And we repeat on the other side. I will do 10 exactly the same way as on the one side. After a few weeks, once you feel comfortable with the movement, you can now move your hands away from the wall. So now that your balance has improved, you're going to lift one leg. I'll use the other leg as an example now. And we're going to move our hands away from the wall. We start by touching the wall. We lift our leg and we move our hands away. If we can hold that balance for 10 seconds, it means already we're on a much better place than what we were a few days or a few weeks back. That means that you can now tilt forward until your hands touch the wall. Exactly the same movement out of the hips. Tilting forward, touching the wall, and back. Tilting forward, touching the wall. If you do lose your balance, that's not a problem. You can just put your foot down, touch it, but as soon as it touches the floor, get it back up into the air again, so that we maintain the tension going through the leg from the foot up until the hip and even the lower back and core. 9, 1 more, come back up, and 10. And then we practice that for a few weeks until you feel comfortable. Once that comes, you can now take a step. We're going to go for the advanced version. From starting with your hands against the wall, you can now take a step back. So now you're pretty much 2 steps away from the wall. What this means is now you can step, lift the foot, control, touch, back, and step back. We're going to go to the other side. Step forward, lift the leg, lean, touch, and back. Now it's very important that you control the leaning forward and not fall. You should be able to control your leaning forward without you falling against the wall, because that would be cheating. And that means that you have to go back to the second phase of this, where you just stand and tilt and not step, stand, and tilt. So if we step and we're leaning forward, we need to be able to stop at any one of those positions, because that's the actual key of this drill. You need to be able to control the forward lean, Then you can touch the wall, step back, use the other leg. Lean forward, but you should be able to stop yourself from either the muscles in the ankle and foot or the muscles from the hip. You should be able to control that lean, touch, come back and step and repeat. Forward, slowly, come back and back. You should already feel that your balance is much better and you feel that you actually have strength in your feet, ankles and hips to control the lean and tilt and the deceleration that you're exercising when you are touching the wall and come back. And you keep repeating that. It might take a few weeks for some people, it might take a few months for others. The important thing is that you stick with this exercise drill and practice it daily. If you like this video, please hit the like button or subscribe. It helps a small channel like myself. And also please leave a comment down below to tell me how your exercise is going.